6 o'clock in the morning. It's still dark. My fire had gone out and there was no coals left, which surprised me. Got down to about 18 degrees last night, and it's still pretty cold this morning. It's about 20, 21. So the Moore's pot froze up a little bit. So I just stuck a Nesbit tab on there, and I figured I'd heat it up enough to melt it. And that way I'd have some water. Or at least some liquid water as opposed to frozen. I suppose I could walk down to the creek, but I've already boiled this stuff, so I might as well just thaw it out. Here's another little tip for the winter. Since my boots froze on one adventure, and I had a pretty miserable 16-mile hike back to the car, this time I took oven bags. These are really super light, and I put my boots at the foot box of my quilt, and that way it'll keep them from freezing up here. So we'll see if that helps or not, but these oven bags are pretty nice. Some people use them for food bags. You can use your boots for, I guess, a pillow if you wanted to. Some people do that, but I decided just to stick them in the foot box. I had enough room, and you know, keeps the mud off everything else. So just another little winter tip. Well, there's the sun coming up. I guess that means it's time to get going. I'm a little tired. I slept all right though. There's a lot of semi trucks that went along the road, and the road's right there this morning. I don't know where they're going. And last night there's like a hill on the other side of the road, and I swear the coyotes were on top of that hill. Freaky deaky. But this is how much wood I had left, so I didn't, like I said, I didn't run the fire all night. So but that's for the next folks. But we're gonna cross over the creek, and then we're gonna head up there, and maybe we'll get cell signal up on top of the hill. Send a message to my wife, let her know I survived the night. But it's 21 right now. It topped out at 17 last night. Pretty chilly, but I slept warm. That little fleece liner was really really nice. So I didn't have any drafts or any problems like that at all during the night. So I'm pretty happy with that. So the pack is ready to roll, and we're gonna get going. So we're just climbing out. This is a view from the ridge over to Brazil Creek campsite. But there is there's a split right here as you're walking up, and it looks like it goes down here and then switchbacks, and there's a little trail through there. I don't know if you can see that or not. So it looks like this might be an alternative creek crossing. It doesn't look any better than the one that I did, but just kind of tossing that out, that if you come up here, just pay attention. We're going to continue up the ridge though. Alright, so to give you an idea where I'm at, you can see this says BT West. That's supposed to say west. It kind of looks like wet. So the Berryman Trail goes that direction, and the Ozark Trail continues on there. So let me show you where we're at here on the map, so you get it in focus. So we're right here. This is the essentially the halfway mark, I believe, for the Berryman Trail itself. I'm going to actually hop on the Ozark Trail, which is the Cutaway section, and we're going to come down here and just check out Harmon Spring, and then we'll come back and we'll continue on the Berryman West section. Coming this direction, you can see they've got a little sign. It's kind of faded. BT East. I might break out the Sharpie here and re-Sharpie it. That way people could see. But so far it's been pretty nice. It's a little chilly. There's a little bit of wind. I apologize if there's any wind noise. But it's still kind of cold. But I'm doing all right. I'm certainly glad that I stopped at the Brazil Creek last night. I think this would have taken a lot longer last night than it did this morning, and I may have run out of sun. So, you know, discretion, better part of valor and all that. But we're gonna head on down and see what Harmon Spring looks like. Much better. Now you know which direction to go. Okay, so I came from that direction. I was pretty sure that I had missed the spring turnoff. I figured that they'd at least have a sign, because there is a trailhead there. And then I just came to this tree right here. It's got multiple signs. It says spur trail that way. Sorry about the sun. And then here's the Berryman Trail sign. saying it's that way. So, you know, I was a bit concerned, but Harmon Spring is down this way. So let's go check it out. Well, here it is. This is the Harmon Spring trailhead. I'm not sure where the spring is. Here's your fire pit. I don't know. Definitely glad that I stayed at the Brazil Creek. I suspect the spring is back in there somewhere. I've been crisscrossing a little creek, and you can see that the road in here has got water crossing it as well. And I don't know if you can see over there, there's a large hill that you'll have to come down to get here. So I suspect in the spring or in heavy rain, this would be impassable and quite difficult to get into without a four-wheel drive. So just keep that in mind. I don't think you'd want to bring a car in here at all. Even right now, you know, you'd bottom out on this little hump for sure. So, good choice to stay at the at Brazil Creek for sure. Now there's some grasslands back down the trail, and I'll show that on the way out. But certainly Brazil Creek was a better option for sure. I suppose you could try to find a spot back in there underneath the pines to camp, but certainly nice having a picnic table. There was a lot more downed wood too, because some of the trees have been cut down around Brazil Creek, you know, as a safety thing. So there you go, Harmon Spring trailhead. Well, there's a small little forest road, I guess, ATV trail. You can see though that there's a lot of water. There's some back there. And then there's the actual creek that runs right along there. And here's that grassland I mentioned earlier. I suspect you get a lot of deer bedding down around in here, things like that. Saw some coyote poop on the ground. I don't know how fresh it is. It's real pretty on that hill though. But I think, I don't know how you get to the actual trailhead road, but just based on what I saw, it looks like a difficult trailhead to get to. So, who knows? There was a gate, but there was no lock on the gate, so, and there was a few crisscross of ATV trails around, so I suspect that folks, you know, probably trailer their, or not trailer, take a pickup truck, one of them big old pickup trucks. You can see there's one of the little ATV trails right there. So anyway, just pay attention to this area. It's pretty well marked though. You know, once you actually get to the spur trail. I didn't know where the spur trail was, so I thought I had gone too far, but there looks to be a little pond up in here. Yeah, there's a little pond back in there. You needed water, but there's plenty in the area like the map says. So I'm glad though I stayed at the Brazil Creek. That was a lot better scenario. And the GPS says it's 4.8 miles from Brazil Creek to here. I don't necessarily think that's correct. I mentioned in my past videos that my little Garmin has a little odometer glitch, it seems. I'll take a look at the track and I'll put the actual mileage down below. But I suspect it's like 3.5 or 4 for sure. So anyway, we're just moving along. I think the next stop is the Vernal Pond. Not Walden Pond, but Vernal. So let's see if we can't find that. There must have been a forest fire around here. Many of these trees, especially the pines, bear scars from the fire. They're a lot darker burned up the trunks. There's a lot of burned stuff on the ground. But we're moving good. It's getting warm. I've shed down to my base layer, and we're just weaving in and out of this little hollow down there, and we're moving our way towards that vernal pond and Beecher Spring. But you can definitely tell on this section, as soon as you got on the cutaway part, that it's maintained. All the leaves are blowing off. Tread's really good, and most of the undergrowth has been clipped and things like that. So good job there, OT trail maintainers. Good job. This road here is Forest Road 2436. Trail comes up right next to it. Here's a little, I guess, navigation marker, plotting marker. So where we're at on the map, see if I can't get this to focus, is we're essentially right there. We've just come up right next to the road, and we're about to hit the vernal pond. It'll be on our left hand side as we head down that direction, and then we will cross over Forest Road 2265 in probably about a mile. So we're making headway. It probably has about maybe nine miles left. I don't know. We're not doing too bad on time. It's about 10 to 11. So I'm hoping maybe 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock we'll hit the campground, and we'll see. So I'm guessing this must be it. It's all frozen up. I doubt you'll be able to get water out of it right now. You might be able to bust through over here where the water's coming in and get some. Not really a whole lot of spots around for camping. It's on a bit of a hill. You could hammock it though, quite easy. Lots of trees around. All right, we're gonna head over to Beecher Spring. Check that one out. Well, apologize if there's any wind noise. We started to pick up a pretty persistent light breeze. This is Beecher Spring, and it's actually a spring, I guess. I mean, they got a full-on. Water looks nasty. I wouldn't necessarily get it out of the trough, but it does come out of a hose. Leads up to this little contraption. Sign says trail. There is quite a few of the ATV trails. There's one there, and then there's one that heads up over there. The trail heads on over there, so basically you'll just come straight through the camp. You know, somebody's set up some benches. Looks pretty wet though. You know, the ground just is pretty muddy. There's a little creek over here. You might be better off getting water out of the creek than the little contraption. But I'm going to use this spot as a good place to take a break, put some food in my belly. I got about, figure about 7.5 miles left, and it's noon, so that means it's lunchtime. Of course, I have crackers and Cliff Bars, but I have a hankering for a cheeseburger and a Coke. Alright, so this appears to be Forest Road 2608, and it's about 1 o'clock. Anybody lose a bow saw? So, let me show you where we're at. We are essentially right there. So, to get down to there, it's about 4.5 miles. I'll tell you what, I am tired. I'm beat. This trail is kicking my butt. I'm out of shape, and I've gone quite the ways so far. And there's still more to go. Ooh, there's a squirrel by the stump. Don't worry about it. There's a little pond down there. Should you be in dire need of water, I reckon you could bushwhack on down there and get some. It is a gorgeous day though. It's good to be on the trail. There's another one of them old signposts. It's all chewed up on this side, but this side says 3.5. So I reckon I got 3.5 more to go, and then just a few miles in the car to a cheeseburger and a Coke. Alright, here is the split. If you go that way, you continue on the Cotaway for, I guess it's another 12 miles, and then it turns into Trace Creek, I think. Whatever section is south of this. So there's your sign. This way, I believe, goes to the campground. At least that's what we're hoping. Oh yeah. Mile number 0. It's where you start. It's where you end. It's the Berryman campground. I'll tell you what, that hike kicked my butt. I don't know how far I hiked, but it had to have been at least 17, 18 miles. Oh, a bit too much, I think, for one day. My feet hurt. I got blisters. I think my knees are gonna revolt. But it was a very, very nice trail. I highly recommend it, maybe in smaller sections. Take a couple more days. Be a good, like a weekend hike, really. Unless you're in better shape than me, and then you could do it in one day. But my goodness, they got horse tie-ups over here. Very cool. Anyway, there's that sweet, sweet motorized mode of transportation that is going to bring me to a cheeseburger and a Coke. That is for sure. But I do want to thank you guys for watching, listening to my rambling, and I hope you enjoyed it. I want to encourage you to check this trail out, though. It is very, very cool. Camping here is free. Camping at Brazil Creek is free. So you just got to drive the 2 hours from St. Louis down here to do it. But until the next time, just remember that life is an adventure. So get out and have one.